Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Michael Maney begins now.
Good evening everyone. Hidden in Tasmania's Huon Valley, a recently cleared coupe is now fuelling outrage from conservationists. The site stripped just months ago and sparking urgent calls to end native logging and protect critical habitats, but the government maintains the industry is sustainable.
Tucked away in Tasmania's Huon Valley, a forest coupe known as DN023H was logged just 6 months ago. Now it's at the centre of a campaign against native forest logging.
People don't get to view just this utter destruction and chaos that's happening out here, where they're completely annihilating entire landscapes.
The Wilderness Society today hosting a rally and guided walks through the coupe. They're calling for an immediate end to native forest logging and tougher regulations on the industry.
This forest was old growth forests with trees many hundreds of years old and many hollows providing key habitat for so many of our threatened, unique and iconic species.
One of those species, the critically endangered swift parrot.
It had a lot of really old hollow-bearing trees, which the birds need for nesting, and it also had blue gums here as well too, which is a food source for the parrot.
The Wilderness Society say they've conducted citizen science surveys revealing breaches in the Forest Practices Plan, including logging in streamside reserves and the removal of large trees.
Hundreds of trees over 1 metre in diameter have been logged, despite the Forest Practices Plan for DN023H clearly stating that all trees over 1 metre with hollows must be retained.
The state government maintains it supports a sustainable forest industry, one it says is compliant with strict environmental rules.
There needs to be balance when it comes to our economy and our managing our natural resources.
This is simply not good enough. In a biodiversity and climate crisis, we need to transition out of native forest logging right now.
Lily Thompson, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's strained health system has been the focus of the major parties and the Greens, with promises from a new health hub to mental health services. The Liberals are also continuing to spruik their proposed state-owned insurance company, an idea that's again being slammed by Labor.
Beaconsfield GP Dr Reddy has a vision for a health hub in Lagana amid growing demand for medical services.
It not only helps the current urgent care crisis in this particular West Thama area, it also an futuristic investment which helps in training medical students.
Featuring a GP clinic and an urgent care clinic, the Premier's pledging to help bring it to life with a $3 million no-interest loan.
Alleviating the pressure off our Launceston General Hospital so people that require emergency treatment can get it sooner.
Labor has its eye on the ball with mental health services for students.
One of the biggest battles that I've had to face in my personal life is getting the right support for my kids.
Promising $10 million of federal funding over 2 years to help public schools roll out support programs.
We have students who are losing their lives to mental health battles. We need to do everything we can to support schools to do what they do best, and that's build resiliency, help to educate their students.
The Greens are taking a stand on allied health staff shortages, wanting $5 million a year to hire more physiotherapists and other workers.
If we don't have an increase in these essential unsung heroes of the healthcare system, we'll see more people going with complications to hospital.
Further afield, the Liberals are milking Tazinsure for a 4th day.
We're up against it when it comes to getting our produce out of the state and getting freight into the state, so everywhere we can pick up some savings, there's got to be a bonus.
The Premier claims their insurance company would save customers $250.
He has no evidence behind any of his claims.
We'll release all our costings.
It's not long now until the cows come home, with just a fortnight until election day. Anthony Dodd, 7 Tasmania News.
Labor's requesting an urgent briefing with the state's Treasury after a report found TT Line was at risk of needing a financial bailout amid its high debt levels. The Shadow Treasurer claims the party needs the Premier's approval as the government is in caretaker mode.
This is very serious. As the alternative government, we want transparency, we want accountability, and that's why Jeremy Rockliff should allow a briefing to occur between the opposition and Treasury on Monday.
Caretaker conventions are there for when there are decisions to be made. For example, needing to invest Tasmanian taxpayer dollars for certain reasons, there needs to be consultation between both major parties. This is not the case.
Jeremy Rockcliffe says the Liberals will seek advice from Treasury and TT Line if the need arises for a bailout. Home turf hasn't been enough to save Tasmania in today's senior rep clashes against Queensland. A slow start in the men's and a slow finish in the women's, seeing the visitors leave with bragging rights.
Hoping for a first win over Queensland's senior women, a Grace White goal answering an early score for the tourists.
And she sends it right through the middle. That's just the response the Tasmanians are after.
Queensland dominating the inside 50 kicks and pulling ahead.
Drives it deep now. Off hands and out the back is Day.
Tasmania's second goal bringing the margin to just 3 points at half-time.
Oh, Tasmania responded a fantastic defensive exit, and then the ball moving inside forward 50 has been outstanding.
But the second half saw the locals run out of legs, kicking just 1 point as the Maroons ploughed ahead.
Her second for the afternoon.
Extend the lead to 44 points. She makes no mistake.
An emphatic third win on the trot for the Maroons, 63-21. The men hoping to repeat last year's performance against Queensland. Early signs were good, narrowly missing a chance in the first minute. But Queensland wasn't to be denied. Red hot out of the gates, going coast to coast in reply.
Finds its way out the back, and there's the danger man Hamilman, who says thank you very much.
The Maps struggling to keep hands on the ball.
Cox Goodyear handball, but there were 4 maroon shirts there all on their own.
6-6 to 1-1 in favour of the tourists at the first break. The visitors piling on the pain in the second term. A late pair of goals giving hope to the locals.
Here he is, Josh Green for 2 in a minute. Some signs of life from the Map.
That second half fight back was too little too late. Queensland with all the answers.
Hamilman drops the hammer, drives it through. He has another one, and Queensland might well have this game won.
The Maroons leading at the final siren 15-15 to Tassie's 10-7. Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
Good evening. 15 across Launceston, Devonport and Burnie today, 13 in Hobart. 17 was the state's top in Flinders Island, Smithton 15 and 14 across Cressy and Low Head. Low cloud was seen across the north of Tasmania today, with mid to high level cloud streaming across the state. Further out, bands of mid to high level cloud streamed across South Australia, Victoria and New South Wales. Tomorrow, light showers develop about the east coast with fine conditions elsewhere. Northeasterly winds tomorrow 5 to 15 knots, reaching 20 knots about the northwest. Swells up to 2 metres in the west and south and up to 1 metre in the north. Tomorrow's forecast now: Hobart and Richmond partly cloudy and 14, morning frost and sun in Ooze. In the north, Launceston and Devonport 15 and mostly sunny, morning frost and some sun in Deloraine. Sunny in Burnie tomorrow, Strawn 15, 16 in Curry. St Helens reaching 16 degrees and partly cloudy and 15 across Swansea and Whitemark. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast now: Monday, light showers developing about the northwest during the day, fine elsewhere. Tuesday, showers about the north and west extending statewide during the day. And Wednesday, showers statewide, more widespread about the north and west. Capital cities 21 and rain increasing in Perth tomorrow. Melbourne 16 and showers developing in Canberra.
For that, Jackie, well done. Well, that's all your news for this Saturday. Thanks for joining us. Have a lovely evening. Good night.